Hey, so this position is for representatives at universities for systemic altruism. You're going to be a club organizer, meaning you're going to work with your college's existing clubs. Different colleges have different models of how they do this. You'll just figure it out for your specific college. How do you start a club? How do you recruit people? What mechanisms are there? And through that, what you are working people into is the most effective form of doing good for the world. So it's very much rational. It's very much so on the cutting edge of looking at AI and how to fix the world's biggest problems. To some degree, you can also define this as a futurist or rationalist club. These are two other names for intelligent internet groups, people who are into AI, people who are into world-changing technology, and thinking deeply about the future and about how to make a grand, amazing future happen. A similar club that is at many universities in America, Oxford, etc., is called effective altruism. This group is very centralized and not very open to newer ideas, which is why systemic altruism was made. It is a group which is higher focus on stuff which is systemic change rather than working on stuff which is part of the just symptoms of causes. It works on long-term solutions. For example, in effective altruism, you may have a lot more vegan people who are like, let's not eat meat to solve the problem. Systemic altruists may allow eating meat, but really push on making lab-grown meat and this sort of thing. We can look at some of these commandments or signs that you are a systemic altruist. And this is really just like, if you're focused on making long-term impact. So I just mentioned the lab-grown meat one. AI alignment is a big topic on the future. And systemic altruism is really based on thinking of AI alignment as not a future problem to do research for, but a present problem to solve. And that's where there is this company that systemic altruism supports, which is called Empowerverse. It's really a fix to this massive problem of misaligned AIs to us. They're meant to extract from us, mainly in social media right now is when they're most effective. This is a deeper article and look on that. And then Empowerverse is a group of apps which have been released. So inside of this community that's being created, basically the idea is, how do we have each person live their most effective life possible? How can they do the most good? And so different things appeal to different people within here. Some people may enjoy writing articles and sharing those, bringing more people, writing books, helping to advertise for these applications, being a software developer and coding for these applications, and working on different things. The projects on here are plentiful. There is stuff like upgrading education institutions to work with ChatGPT today, to work with using AI models and to more closely represent the jobs of the future. It is definitely true that many education systems are broken in terms of preparing kids today for the real world. There's a project in fashion, mainly because fashion is how we give off our status symbols. So designer brands specifically help do that, and these cost the same amount as building an entire house. So for us to align fashion, it would be, what if we started a designer brand where when you buy that bag for $1,200 or $1 lakh, you also build a house for a family. This house specifically was built in Bangladesh. So this is ongoing projects. Actually just got an update from someone today who's at a factory in Bangladesh for it. One of them is governments don't actually represent people. So nowadays with blockchain tech, we can create better democracies. So here's some of the projects which represent some of those ideals above. And one of the final really cool, fun things is that systemic altruism also really believes in strong narratives of the world. Myths, and these sort of things is an attractor for people. The deep term is called hyperstition, something in the future which changes how you feel in the present. And so we're throwing a party on the moon in 2042 is part of what makes systemic altruism super fun. You could call your club the Moon Planning Committee, and in order to make sure we as a humanity can all make it to the moon. A lot of these things are just a part of making humanity the best it can be and making humanity focus on what is most important for humanity. So going through this list, rather than us as systemic altruists really funding certain political campaigns or paying them off, it's a work on the systemic problem of government as talked about there. And again, you can go on the homepage and click these links to dive deeper into the resources and materials there. We also believe innovation comes from just upgrading institutions, building startup courses into there, entrepreneurial courses. And, this is a big problem here today. I was a dropout entrepreneur in college myself who built a company while in school, not going to my classes, and ended up doing way, way better. School was holding me back, and I had to fight my parents in order to take that path. So if we can just help these colleges build these courses and structures directly into them, that is great. We've already done that for actually one whole education society out here in India called Mahatma Education Society. So basically, as a group, as an organizer, you'll display this video if you want as a sort of update and overview. You'll help build community, discuss these different things, and help find people the place where they can devote their time and spend their time. Part of it is also a charity accelerator that we're going to be launching, which will be if you have an idea for a charity and you need resources, connections, places to get a leg up. That's what Systemic Altruism wants to support based on the defined categories there. Any of these charities, of course, must be focusing on fixing systemic world problems. And so it's pretty fun. It's an awesome, awesome group, attracts super cool people. If these things resonate with you, you think about the future a lot, and you want to farm the only eternal currency in this world, which is good karma, kind of understand eventually materials are worth nothing. Let's be legends while we can. That is a perfect fit, and I look forward to having you as a community organizer for your college and to expand this entire organization worldwide. Cheers.